Hi, it's me, Cecilia, the ballet instructor. So in today's video, we'll be working on stretches that you can do at home. Ready? And these stretches will help you for any ballet or dance related activity that you will do, okay? So like a regular class, I will go step by step and explain the functions of it and why it's important. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll go into the stretch called the butterfly. So this is help you here in the hip area. You have to create flexibility and strength there. So we're just going to go up and down. And that's just to help release that hip cavity. So do this as long as you need to, making sure you actually do feel your hip rotators working. We're going to bring it close to our body and we're going to push down onto our knees. If you're already naturally here, then I would suggest to point your toes, keep your heels together, and push down on those knees. Very good. We're going to stretch as far as we can. That will help you with the hip rotators. Stretching those out. And now we'll go to the side to stretch this area. Side. Full circular cambray. And reverse. Now we're going to keep our back straight, all the way down and straight up, rolling all the way to our feet, rolling back up, and switching it to straight, rolling up, and rolling down to keep your back straight. Also, you can do some head motion. That'll help you with your neck as many times as you need to, just to make sure that you relieve some tension in your neck by pushing your head up and down, side to side, circular motion one way, circular motion the other way, and shoulder to shoulder. Always do some arm stretches here. Bring it behind the head. And my favorite one that you can do in this position or the split position is you imagine you have an exercise ball and you go side to side. Full body twist. So you should feel some tension going on your side. We'll go into the diamond and then completely stretch. And feel free to pause at any point or rewind back so you can follow along with me. So when we're in this position of keeping our legs straight, we have to remind ourselves that the movement of rotation doesn't come from the feet, but from up here from the hip and thigh cavity. Okay. So I'm going to work on our feet strength first, and then we'll work on rotation. So keeping in mind that we should imagine this straight line going from here all the way to the middle toe, we're going to flex and point, making sure you don't sickle and you don't wing. Okay, just a straight line. Flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point. I'm doing bunny ears. And remember, as dancers, the first thing that we're using a lot of is our legs and our feet. So it's always important that you keep your feet warm, stretch, and help strengthen them. So we'll also do some ankle rotation going inward and ankle rotation going outward. Now we're going to point our toes and just the tip of the toes, pushing them up and down while keeping your foot pointed, but your toes flexing and pointing. We'll also do this in a flex position and just a toe. You should do this until you feel a little bit of pain, which is a good pain. That means you're working on your arches. If that happens, you can just wiggle your feet for a little while. Relax, massage them, whatever you need, and then you can go right back to it. So now we'll work on rotation. So from parallel, pointed parallel, we'll open. We'll go to first position. Try to keep those legs as straight as possible. It's okay if you don't have it in a complete first position. This is an acceptable first position as long as the legs are straight and you're engaging the rotation here. Then we're going to bring them up to parallel and back. Point, open, first, up, point, open, first, up. And you keep doing it a few times and then reversing it. So parallel to first, point them and together. Parallel, first, point, together. And you keep going in that direction. Now this stretching, always make sure that you're standing in a very perpendicular position. So we'll start with our toes pointed and stretch all the way downward. Coming back up, flexing them, reaching, and coming back up. You can do that as many times as you need to do. Now we're going to work on strengthening and rotation. So, height does not matter. If height is something that you want to achieve, that's going to come from practicing it over and over and trying to get higher every time. But the fundamental aspect of this is making sure you rotate as you do so, keeping the legs straight and pointed. We're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and keep going as many times as you need to do. If you get tired, no worries. You stop, take a break, and go back to it. But as I tell all my students, practice makes perfect. And if today you're right here, don't worry. Maybe tomorrow you might be here and then right here. It's all about your end goal and what you want to achieve. Okay? After that, we'll just stretch a little bit on our backs. We're going to flex our leg, flex this leg, rotating and switching. Very good. And now we're going to go into our split, making sure, and I'm going to show you really quickly with my leg, that your foot does not do this. Very bad position. It's not good for the rotators here. So making sure you are either completely straight with your knee completely facing the ceiling, or you're rotating enough where you can see the inside of your arc. So, I'm going to split. Again, if the degree of your split is something you want to achieve, it's working every time onto it. So, this is a good moment to do, again, those feet exercising, the flexing and pointing, switching them, ankle rotations. So if you felt like you didn't do enough the first time, this is your time to achieve it again. And we'll go over one side, over the other side. We're going to face our knee. So anytime that we're completely focusing on one leg, make sure your other leg does not rotate. So we're going to face our knee and face the other knee. You're on our knee. You're on the other knee. Our head in front of our leg. Our leg in front of the other leg. Rotation behind our leg. Behind our leg. Facing the ceiling. And coming back up. A full cambray around. Over. All the way around. Over. All the way around, up. You can also work on strengthening our back and hip rotation by doing this. Extend your arms and go low for a little bit. Lower for another little bit. And lower. And lower. Making sure that your legs don't rotate. As low as you can hold it. And let's stretch as far as you want. Again, not letting those legs rotating forward. And we'll go onto our stomach. Now, unless you can physically not be able to do this, this is mostly for younger audience also, because ballet is for anyone. So, if you are a younger person and you can physically do this, this is called a roll through. You're just going to roll through and actually let your legs rotate inward. Now, if you're a complete beginner, you just want to push yourself and walk forward. So I will demonstrate in walking forward. Okay, now that we're on our stomach, make sure your hips are not off the ground. They are on the ground. Keep those on the ground. So, keeping our body straight, we'll go down like a regular push-up and up. Keeping your legs and feet together. And coming back up and pushing back down and pushing back up. Rotating one shoulder and the other and switching it and switching it. Now for my younger audience, if you are capable of doing this, letting go of one arm, letting go of my other arm, and then you can let go of both of them. Again, this is if you can physically do this. I don't want anybody to hurt. Stretching should be a moment of stretching, not to get yourself hurt. So I'm warning you in advance so you don't hurt yourself. So if you're capable, letting go. We will do what is called 2 versions of the scorpion. First one is you grab the opposite leg and you bring it over. Ooh, my bag popped. And grab the other leg and bring it over. The second version of the scorpion, again, if you can physically do it, if not, all you're doing is pulling upward. If you're a younger person like me, you can try to pull that leg towards your head. Grabbing the other leg, pulling it towards your head. Now we're going to do what is called a frog. So I will rotate to the side so you can kind of see. All you're doing is you're keeping your heels together, toes pointing upward, and you're making sure your butt doesn't lift off the ground. And you're aiming to try to get your legs as close to the floor as possible without doing this to your toes. They're always going to push up and they're always glued together. So this is what's called a frog. And then once you achieve there, or if you're trying to get lower, that's by scooting your knees closer to your body. Then we're going to try to touch our toes to our head. Very good. And then we'll do what is called the kitty cat stretch. And we lean far, far back. Come back on all fours. Now, this part of the exercise is strictly to work on back flexibility and to warm your back, because warming of the back is essential for any kind of dance. So all you're doing is you're letting the lumbar area of your back go downward, and then you're pushing that lumbar up to the thoracic and the cervical to go up, and bring it back down. Do not confuse this with twerking. This is essentially just stretching the back area. You can do that a couple of times. Now, I have a treat for all of you guys. There are additional stretches that you can do to help you. First stretches that you can do. What you can do, you're gonna grab your leg. You're gonna pretend to be holding a baby. And you're gonna pull it as close to your chest as possible. This is to work on the outside of the calf, of the thigh. Now we'll also do some leg stretches. Again, just as high as you can. So if for younger people, it's easier to grab it from the inside. For my older audience, you can grab it on the calf, on the knee. What's important is keeping your legs straight and your toes pointed. So all we're doing is stretching it to the front. So if you cannot grab it from the heel, grab it right here. And it's okay if your leg ends up here. You're still stretching it. You're still going towards your capacity and stretching the calf, and the calf muscle and the thigh muscle. So in front of you, other leg, in front of you. We'll do that to the side. Again, it's important that you're still turning out. If you can't grab it from here, grab it from here or lower and stretch it out. And stretching doesn't mean completely to the side of you. This is acceptable. It's at a diagonal. So stretching one leg and stretching the other leg. Very good. We can also do these stretches lying down. You're going to pull your leg close to your body and bring it to the opposite side of you. Do that with the other leg towards your body and stretching it across from you. And pulling it straight up as high as you can. If this is as high as you can go, that's perfectly fine. You're just stretching calmly. Stretching it calmly. You can do it to the side. Stretching it to the side. Stretching it to the side. Now, I'm going to rotate this way so you can see to work on both hips. Knees together and open them up. The goal here is to try to get your toes to touch the floor, but as long as you're stretching, that's the important part of it. So stretch this area. Very good. Now, we have some stretches standing up. So here's the first one. Legs parallel, reaching all the way downward as low as you can, letting your arms swing, walking forward till your heels are about to come up, and walking back. Holding one leg, holding the other leg. You open them wider. Big deep plie. So from here or from your elbows, working on your shoulders. And here's an isolation work in this position. Stretching, overstretch. Completely diagonal, keeping that back flat till you rotate all the way around to this diagonal. Don't forget about your unicorn horn. Stretch back and reverse. All the way around, stretching back, and lastly, stretching flat here. Very good. Any additional stretches that you can do is your basic calf stretch. Toe stretching, where you just pretend to be stomping some grapes. Hugging your knee. Holding your foot back. Very good. So, any part of your body that you do not feel well stretched, just repeat it. There's nothing wrong of stretching over and over again. Not only are you keeping yourself warm, you're working on flexibility and you're working on strength. And that is it for this video. Thank you so much. Next video, we'll be working on basic bar stretches and the importance of doing this for your dancing career or just for a hobby. Thank you, everyone.